If x is getting close to 4, the square root of x should get close to 2. Okay. So again, set up the two inequalities. The first one, x minus c less than delta. And the second inequality, less than epsilon. Okay. So somehow we have to factor out an absolute x minus 4 from a square root of x minus 2. So a little bit more challenging than factoring a quadratic. So what I'm going to do, instead of factoring it, what I'm going to do is I'm going to multiply it by the conjugate. So I'm going to take my root x minus 2, and I'm going to multiply it by a root x plus 2 over itself. You can only multiply it by 1 without changing it. FOIL out the numerator. Do it again. All right. Root x times root x is x. The great thing about the conjugate is that the outside terms would be 2 square roots of x. The inside terms would be negative 2 square roots of x. So those would add to 0. And the last term would be minus 4. Okay. So now we have the absolute value of x minus c factored out of our f of x minus l. So same thing we did earlier. We are now going to bound delta less than or equal to 1, take it back to our delta equation and find something larger than this function left over. Take this back to our delta inequality and start manipulating. Alright, so we need a square root of an x. So what I'm going to do is add 4 to get to x. Add 4, you would get 3, x, and 5. I would like a square root of x, so take the square root. I would like a 2 added to my square root of x, so add a 2. Alright. I would like to have my square root of x plus 2 in the denominator, so I'm going to take the reciprocal, and remember, if you take a reciprocal, you have to switch the inequality. So the reciprocal of this, reciprocal of this, and the reciprocal of this. Okay. So now the 1 over root x plus 2 lives between two positive numbers.
Yeah, 0 plus 4 is
3. So take the negative to the other side, add 4. Yeah. All right. So the absolute value of 1 over root x plus 2 is less than 1 over square root of 3 plus a 2. And then we go back to this statement up here. So we have absolute x minus 4, absolute root x plus 2 is less than. Okay. What is bigger than the absolute value of x minus 4? Delta is. And what is bigger than the absolute value of 1 over root x plus 2? This guy. So we want this less than epsilon, so we set it to epsilon and solve. Don't forget your bound. And in the end, delta will be the minimum of our bound of 1, and what we would get with the algebra, root 3 plus 2 epsilons.